If anyone's been missing me for the last few days, and I hope you have, I'll tell you where I've been. A couple of weeks ago, I shared with you that I had thought I was having a heart attack. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, my husband rushed me to hospital, to A&E. And they did all the necessary tests and an ECG. And anyway, I eventually came back home after having been referred to a cardiologist. Well, I have now been to see the cardiologist, who also did another ECG, and found what he called a pause between the beats where there shouldn't have been, and booked me for an angiogram, which I had yesterday. It wasn't too bad. They didn't put me to sleep. I haven't got any photos, video footage of it, of course, but I'll just tell you about it. They just locally anesthetized this part of my arm where it goes straight into an artery. And then when that section of my arm there was no more feeling, then he pushed the scope in. I must say I could sort of just feel it, but it wasn't sore. And I just kept looking, kept my eyes closed anyway, kept looking away. And he put the scope in, right in, through, up and into my heart. There he found two blocked little coming off the artery inside my heart, but just a little bit blocked. Not blocked enough to put stents in, which he would have done straight away if it needed to be done. Apparently he would have just threaded them through, can you believe this, sort of all the way up my arm and into my heart, and he would have opened them up there to open that blockage up. But the blockage was not sufficient for the stents to be put in. So he's going to treat it with medication, which I have started from today. And then I was taken back to the ward, and I've been told to rest for 24 to 48 hours. Well, first of all, it took me such a long time to come home because this thing that I showed you here, they put a type of a pressure bangle on it. It was very tight. And every sort of 30 minutes or so, the nurse came in and she just drew 1 millimeter off of the air off of it. So it just wasn't that tight. And she explained to me that if it didn't clot and stop bleeding properly, that being an artery and not just a normal vein, it would have, there's a lot of pressure behind in an artery, it would have just been all over the place. So it did take a little bit longer to stop bleeding than we expected. So from 7 o'clock yesterday morning, I only got home at 7 o'clock last night. So it was quite a day. So I'm following orders. I'm not to use this arm for about 48 hours. But goodness, is that difficult to remember? Peter keeps saying to me, "You're using your arm again." I said, "Oh, goodness, I forgot." You just automatically, and it's my right arm as well. So, of course, I just automatically am using it. So, I'm resting today, and then the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going for a colonoscopy and a gastroscopy. And they're going to get to the bottom of what's wrong with me, because there's definitely something wrong. I've got a very enlarged stomach, and I know there's a bit of fat there too, but it's very enlarged. I'll see if I can actually, I can't believe that I would share this with you, but I will, just to show you the extent of it. I'll show you a photograph that I took to send to my sister. She said she couldn't believe how distended my stomach gets. So I'm having that done. And I've had, as I told you before as well, the iron drip. I spent about 7 hours, I think, in my doctor's rooms having an iron drip, and the concern is that that iron is already gone. My iron level is low again, so that's the reason they're doing the gastroscopy and colonoscopy. I must have some sort of an internal bleed, so they're going to look at that, and hopefully that'll take care of that anemia that's forming. What else have I had done? I've had some of my medication cut down, because that I also shared with you, and you can look back at that other video if none of this is ringing a bell with you. Over the years, having a mental health condition, being that I live with depression, a clinical depression, I've had quite a lot of medication, and just recently, with changing of doctors and my psychiatrist retiring, etc., I've had medications just added to my current medication, not swapped or changed for something better or different. I've just had things added, and I've become progressively more foggy-headed, not able to focus, not able to remember words when I'm in the middle of a conversation. And so that is being looked into as well. I'm seeing a new young psychiatrist. He's very holistic, and I enjoy that. And he's of the opinion that I am perhaps more physically ill than I am mentally ill. Well, wouldn't that be one for the books? After taking antidepressants for the last 30 years, and him saying he thinks there's actually something that's not functioning properly in my body that's making my mind not function properly. But we will see. It'll all come out in the end. And I'll keep you updated. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. Bye for now.